Oh, hi. Welcome to another Today's Decay, July 29th edition. Just casually reading a Weird Tales magazine here. That's right, we're in a whole nother room. It just took me like 4 months or however long I've been doing this for to go into a different room. So we celebrate births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time, and on this day, July 29th edition, Maria Uspenskaya was born. Maria Uspenskaya was the gypsy in the film The Wolfman, 1940, The Wolfman, who told Lon Chaney Jr. about the curse to beware the moon. I really just think it's I'm very proud of myself for being able to pronounce Maria Uspenskaya. Also on this day, in 1885, Theda Barrow was born. I guess pretty much known as the first screen vamp, although a William Fox creation still. Certainly started this image off. And on this day, the reason why we're reading Weird Tales is Farnsworth Wright was born on this day in 1888. That's right, the year of Jack the Ripper. I think I hit on something really important yesterday with this. It's 1888 is the year zero, right? He was the editor of Weird Tales magazine from 1923-24 until 1940, which was the first full period, the first period of Weird Tales. Weird Tales is like billed as like the magazine that'll never die or won't die, because it just keeps coming back. But this first period is definitely my favorite. All the hits are in there. Weird Tales magazine is a collection of short stories, sometimes split up into a couple different magazines, but usually they're like self-enclosed short stories, maybe upwards of 20 pages at most, and they're all really gruesome. Kind of grew out of the horrors of World War I, I'd say, but then also they're pulling classics like Edgar Allan Poe type stuff as well, but it's a lot of contemporaries, and these are all weird. This is Farnsworth Wright's run from 23 to 1940. Excluding the paperbacks, but everything else. But then even a lot of the paperbacks are actually reprints of Weird Tales magazine. It wasn't the first magazine to publish weird fiction. The first was The Orchid Garden in 1919 in Germany, which is a whole other story, published by Karl Hans Strobel. But Farnsworth Wright did this English language. I have no proof that they even knew that The Orchid Garden was going on. Sometimes this stuff just happens where humanity experiences atrocities and funnels it into their fiction, whatever art they're creating, right? So you've got like Clark Ashton Smith, Robert E. Howard, H.P. Lovecraft, plenty more, and they're gruesome and exciting. And basically, this magazine was like the lightning rod that attracted more strange people to come and talk and explore the weird, the occult, you name it. So yeah, Weird Tales all day today. Although also William Powell was born on this day in 1892. I love Bill Powell. My grandfather used to call him Bill Powell. We used to talk about movies all the time. Yeah, Milton, my grandpa Milton. Favorites? I mean, certainly The Thin Man. But I will also say that I think One Way Passage is a phenomenal movie. I mean, he was in a lot of things, but between the Thin Man series and One Way Passage, which is just like this really haunting movie of this one character who's has a medical condition that's basically a death sentence, and she's just taking this boat ride to have one last joy in life, I suppose. And Bill Powell's character is a criminal who's been caught, and he's on his way, I think, to San Francisco to be sentenced to death, and both of them meet on this boat and fall in love, and neither one of them tell the other one that like this is their last ride. And yeah, it's a really good film. One Way Passage. I want to say it's like 1932-ish, right in the height of the pre-code era. Who else? What else? Clara Bow, born this day, 1905. I like Clara Bow. I feel like a lot of what she did is lost, but there's like an intensity to her. Oh, Call Her Savage. That's a great one. Although it's kind of after her prime. She's really like a late 20s, mid-20s actress. But Call Her Savage she's really good in. Thelma Todd, Hot Toddy, born on this day, 1906. The drink Hot Toddy was named after her, and she was probably murdered in a mob hit. But she's in a bunch of great films, especially a lot of those short Vitaphone films, I think, with, am I going to pronounce it right? Zazu Pitts? Zazu? Anyway, yeah, I love that stuff. And since we're keeping with a doomed Hollywood theme, I suppose, in the most part, on this day, 1924, Elizabeth Short was born. The infamous Black Dahlia. I do these haunted New England road trips, not every year, because probably Halloween's canceled this year, all right? But most years I do these haunted New England road trips, and each time it's like basically every 30-40 minutes or so between New York and somewhere in points in Massachusetts, we'll stop along the way to like various roadside Americana type things, like the Witch's Dungeon Classic Monster Wax Museum in Bristol, Connecticut, that's been running out of Cortland Hull's parents' shed in his parents' backyard since 1966. Or what else? We stay at the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast, and we visit the Mercy Brown grave, Rhode Island's vampire. Plenty of things. And each time I try to do it a little bit differently, so that way there's like something new for me, and then also, like being able to like see the hits as well. So it's a combination of new and old. And this last one we did, where was the last one? Yeah, it was definitely the last one. Where we went with the band, the fantastic Canadian horror punk band Forbidden Dimension. Where like they were like playing shows along the way, so it was kind of like a tour as well as a haunted New England road trip. So we did a whole bunch of stuff, but one of our stops was in Boston. I had no idea that Elizabeth Short was actually born in Boston, and there's like a plaque for where she grew up. Although now it's like the house that was there has been bulldozed, and like the area that the plaque is in is like right in like a roundabout. So it's like really easy to miss. There's no big sign, obviously, I guess. And we just drove around in circles with like GPS trying to figure out like, where is this thing? And it was freezing and dark, and eventually we found it, and I'm glad we did. Yeah, I mean, you think of her as like an LA person because that's where she met her untimely demise. But yeah, born in Boston. And who else? Oh, Margaret Empey, who I forgot to research, but she was born in 1932. She was definitely like an early pinup, and was in She Gods of Shark Reef. I don't know. So, that's not right. She's a like pinup cheesecake model who I think was also an early Playboy playmate, and starred in some film I'm forgetting as like a mermaid. Like with a full fin and everything, like in early 60s, something like that, Yeah, aka Diane Weber. But she didn't have web feet. She had a mermaid tail. I don't know. Forget it. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out and put it in like the tagging thing or whatever. Anyway, yeah, back to weird tales for me, like Margaret Empey's weird tale. All right, till tomorrow, folks. Bye.